Okay, my name's Sierra Dunny. I'm 19, and I'm a sophomore.
So then you said that you went to a reservation school. So where was that located at?
Yes, I went to the tribal school. It was called the Turtle School. It was in the shape of a turtle, fun fact. It was like kind of like right in the middle of the Oneida Reservation. So.
And then would you be able to like list some differences between the two and like?
Oh yeah, so at tribal school you do learn math and science and stuff, but you also learn cultural things. So I learned like in kindergarten to collect sap from trees, which you don't do that in public school. We also I'm not sure what the technical term is, but we had rattles and we would like shake them and sing like our cultural songs. We would learn the language. We would for Mother's Day, I think we made a book that was in both English and the Oneida language.
And then this recording is going to be shown to future educators. Is there anything that you would like to touch on and say about what we should maybe do in the classroom to focus on Native American culture?
I think that to educate Native Americans, you kind of have to know their culture because they are different. We learn to we all learn to respect elders, but it's a really prominent thing in that culture. For one thing, when you go to eat, your elders eat first, which I know that's not really common in some other cultures. So I think just learning a little bit more about natives and understanding their background and educating yourself on some reservations, because some are more poor and some are more wealthy, I guess. So I guess it just depends on where your students are from.
Here we go. Okay. Hi. My name is Anna Residlo, and I am a senior here at UWL.
Does being Native American affect your education at all?
Yeah, definitely. Just because, I don't know, when I think specifically of history classes, and it's just the lack of being taught about Native people at all. So then it's kind of I always feel like we're being left out of the story. So then that affects my education, when it comes, again, specifically to history, and things just always questioning it and okay, what is being left out? So then it kind of takes away from what I would be what I'm maybe supposed to be learning, because I'm just questioning it, and that stems to other things too, psychology classes or sociology classes. There are a lot of studies out there that professors will use as examples for things, but unless they specify what population that example is from, you're always questioning okay, so what is this, another white middle-aged type of population that they're taking from, or who's included?
Okay.
So.
Do you feel that your resources were different than your peers in the classroom?
Specifically here, yeah, just because I don't know, I feel when we're given resources for any sort of academic help or financial aid or anything, if they're talking in general to the student body, then they say, oh, the financial aid office, oh, the counseling and testing center and things like that. And it's not that those resources aren't available to me, it's just that as a Native person, and then even just overall as a person of color, it's kind of we're more specifically directed to the Office of Multicultural Student Services, because in there it's they have a guy who's good with financial stuff, so it's kind of if I needed help with financial things, I would go to him in that particular office rather than just the overarching financial aid office, because they're going to have a better understanding of my needs. They're going to be able to be more aware of my Native identity, and be able to help me find scholarships and money that are going to benefit me as a Native person, or that I qualify for as a Native person.
And then just as a wrap-up question, this interview is being presented to future educators. Is there something that you would like to say that maybe they could incorporate into the classroom about Native American culture? Or
well, look into Act 31, because that, I don't know, I'm sure you guys have probably learned about that. Yeah, okay. So obviously just actually bringing that into the classroom, but then beyond that, I think like when you are, if or when you are teaching about Native people, I mean, yes, like there's a big history there that needs to be taught, and if that's the point of the curriculum that you're teaching, like you need to stick to that, but at the same time you need to make the point, I think, like, hey, Native people aren't just in our history books, you know, they're, I think, just really making the point that, like, hey, Native people, like, they are real people and they are here. And, you know, just kind of, as I feel like that sounds so silly because it's kind of like, duh, that, you know, they're people like anybody else, like we're here. But the way our history is taught, the way we're taught about as people, the way we're portrayed as mascots, like it's really easy to dehumanize us and to keep us in the past. So I think just actively combating those images and just being like, Native people are more than this history that was written by white people, and they're more than a mascot for a team. I think that's just really important, is just bringing that humanity back to them, I think.